Hello. Welcome back to the SkeinyLegend Podcast. I'm your host, Anna, SkeinyLegend, and this is my knitting podcast where I hold my fake tiny mic and talk shit about knitting and other things. Okay, I'm back. I'm in Montreal. I was away for a month. I posted a little mini episode from Australia. I did not post from Vietnam. Not much knitting or knit adjacent purchases were made while I was there. I had a day planned to go shopping at the end of our trip, but we had gotten food poisoning and spent the last 2 days just in our hotel rooms in bed / on the toilet. So that didn't happen. Also, this was also my experience when I went to Mexico. It's just, I feel like knitting is not so much a thing in Vietnam as like a hobby. It was hot. Oh my god. It was like 45 degrees and humid. So I totally understand why knitting's not a thing. Like, it was so disgusting. So, anyway, the podcast is happening now. I don't remember how to film, so we're just gonna go with it. This is the filming setup for now. I'm in a new sublet. This is actually my boyfriend's office, but he's currently in our bedroom playing Tetris, so I've taken it over. What else? Housekeeping items. I make sock patterns. Check those out if you want. I also make candles. Here, okay, I'll show you. I brought it. My newest candles is pickle candles. 2013 beauty YouTube pickle candle. So I'll like that too. If you like me and you don't care about candles, you just go to Etsy and like it or follow my candle Instagram. That would be nice. Thank you. I love you. But fuck all that, I guess, and let's just get down to biznatch, shall we? Honestly, I don't really remember what I've been doing for the past while, so I've written most of it down. Who knows what order this is in, or what, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but let's put the mic down and we will commence. Finished objects. The first one is the Ripple Halter by Jessie Made Designs. Pretty sure I was knitting on this in my last video, but I finished it. I ran out of yarn, so it's quite cropped, but yeah. My lovely friend Merlene, Nomad Knitter on Instagram, is hosting a Jessie Made knit along, so I've actually taken that to heart and knit a whole bunch of Jessie Made patterns, but this was the first one I did, and it's the Ripple Halter, which I do like, but I also don't. I like the pattern, I don't like. Okay, sorry, the doorbell rang. I am trying to complain about this. What are my issues? My issues are, it makes me look like I have really saggy boobs. And I don't like that very much. I don't wear a bra with it. And obviously my boobs aren't sitting up and nice, but I don't think they're as saggy as this top makes them look. So, not good for the boobage. This is my main gripe with most Jessie Made patterns, is they're always too big. I think I even sized down for this, and I should have sized down 2 sizes maybe. And then also for the waist, I did a bunch of decreases, and it still like flares out a bunch. And like, I just don't like that very much, but there's like pounding happening next door. Hopefully you can't hear it. There's no way you can't. I'm gonna talk through it because I'm not a professional. I think if I were to knit this again, I'd be able to make one that fit me better and like didn't make things look so saggy, but I'm like just not in the mood to re-knit this whole thing, and it is fine. It's a bit of a dense fabric for summer. It's spring right now, so I should probably be wearing it while I can, but I do quite like this, the like ripple detail of it. Camisole number 5 is basically the same. I like my camisole number 5 a bit better, but I think you could easily modify this pattern to be a camisole number 5 if you don't want to support my favorite things knitwear. I knit the neck a little shorter than it calls for, and if I were to do it again, I would probably, can you see how there's only 2 lines of rib where it starts with? I would probably start with more so it wasn't such like a close neck and aggressive flare out. I would want the neck to be lined to be a bit lower and just like a more gentle, like more of a regular crop top kind of, or tank top kind of silhouette. And I was scared about doing too many decreases in the body, but I honestly didn't do enough, so I would do more. And maybe a like firmer cast off, like I did a tubular, I think. No, I can't have because 2x2. I must have done some sort of stretchy bind off, but I probably don't need to do such a stretchy one. Like I could do kind of a mediumly stretchy one and probably be fine. I actually have no idea what I did. I think I just looked up 2x2 bind off and chose one. But yes, that is the Ripple Halter. I don't love mine. I would knit it again. I do think I could grow to love another one, but also I'm not like super convinced this color looks good on me. We'll do some try on clips and you can tell me what you think. Okay, let's move on. I have another Jessie made pattern. So I did an outline tank. I like impulse bought this yarn in Australia. It's just like a cotton yarn, but it was on crazy sale. And like we were staying with some of my partner's like good friends. He told them I was looking for yarn, and then they really went out of their way to like take me to all these yarn stores, but like I'm quite picky, and so I wasn't buying anything and I felt quite bad. So when I was at this store, I found this yellow cotton yarn and it was on crazy sale, and I was like, screw it, I'll just buy some because I feel bad that they're taking me everywhere and I'm not getting anything. But I'm really happy with it. It's like basically the exact same color as the one she did in her sample, which I quite like. But this one again, I like, pretty sure I sized down 2 sizes, and I also knit the body like quite a bit longer than what she calls for because I don't know, Jessie made things tend to be very wide and like very cropped, and I would rather they were like, it's still quite an oversized fit on me even though I sized down 2 sizes, and it's still somewhat cropped but not like a crazy amount cropped. But I do really love the drop stitch detail. It's very fun to do and very satisfying to like pull apart. But I like honestly haven't really worn it yet because I hate the straps. Like I block these really nice and flat and like stretch them out like this, and they just curl up, which I guess makes sense, but they curl up so much and look so stupid when I'm wearing them. I think I'm going to try ironing them and see if that like helps things at all, but for now I like don't really like straps. But what can you do? I also think it's maybe a little see-through. Thing is, I like this, like the drape of this fabric. I wouldn't have wanted to go down another needle size, but I am worried it's slightly see-through. I did try knitting a little triangle and like basting it in to cover my little nippy, but you could see the triangle like very obviously. It looks stupid. So I'm gonna try it out, see if I'm uncomfortable with like the sheerness of it, and then worst case, I think I will knit basically a little bra into it, like so like a patch, like kind of this, like the shape of the cup down to wherever my boob ends. I think, I don't know, maybe around here, and then sew that in like along the drop stitch line, and then I think it'd be fine because like I'm obviously not gonna wear a bra. So that's that. One thing I really like that I did and I think looks really clean is the transition from the twisted rib to the stockinette. Did I talk about this already? I think I did. Okay. If you're interested in what I did, because not to bore you, check out my last video, the SkeinyLegend on Tour Australia edition, because I think I go into a bit more detail. But basically I just like twisted the stitches on the first round of stockinette, but I think I explained it better in my last video. But I am really happy, especially after blocking, I'm like very happy with how smooth that looks, because sometimes I find when you do twisted rib into stockinette, like the last knit stitch looks stupid. So I'm happy with how that turned out and how that's fixed. But yeah, so far I haven't really worn it. I'm gonna have to iron, if I iron the straps, I'll try it out and see how it goes. But yeah, another finished Jessie May object. I don't think I would knit another one, just because of how much the straps bother me. I do think maybe I do the outline tee, because I do kind of like the drop stitch effect. Although now that I kind of know how to do it, you could easily, and I honestly knew how to do it before. Like I had seen this pattern and like was trying to figure out how you do the drop stitch thing, and you could probably just look up how to do it, but it was the way that I thought in my head, which made me feel very smart. But you could kind of add a fun drop stitch to any pattern you already have and look cute. So that one's done. Next thing I want to talk about are my Ceara Forest and Flower socks. So pretty sure I'd finished this one last time. Definitely had finished this one before. So basically this is another one, like a design I'm working on. I'm like not extremely happy with how they turned out, so I'm not really planning on writing a pattern for it anytime soon. But a little bit of like the thoughts behind the design are that I love the look of like these embroidered on like kind of details, but I hate knitting a whole sock and then having to embroider stuff on afterwards. So this you actually do while knitting, like it's part of the design. It's not something you go back in after you're done and embroider on. Basically it's a 2-color dip stitch, so you do a dip stitch just like in the very famous Cargill sweater or in other things. Like I don't think she invented the dip stitch, but whatever, you just do the dip stitch part with a different color. There's a couple little tricks you have to do to make it work out. But yeah, so this one is knit top down, which is how I like to knit socks. And then genius idea by Ceara, which is why she gets these socks named after her. But like, sorry Ceara, that I don't really like the socks I named after you. This one is knit toe up, and so then you get the dip stitch obviously the other way around, and then you can do them as cute little flowers. Now, I feel like I should have added leaves on. I think they look a little stupid, the flowers. But yeah, so here is the new one. This is the flower version. So this one's toe up. I did a fun little, like, you know, the classic flower color work along the toe. And then yes, we have, here's a little close up again. Focus, you stupid thing. I'll hide. Anyway, can you see it? Can you see my nails? Cute. But yeah, you can see the flower stitch. But yeah, again, just like a 2-color dip stitch, and kind of cool how obviously toe up you get them like hearts, and top down, cuff down, you get them like little roofs or trees. So these I wear together as like a little shorty set. But yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you think, I guess, but like I'm not super happy with how they turned out. They need a block. Maybe if I block them, which I do, I'll block them. Maybe if I block them, I'll like them more. But obviously these could be done on a full cuff sock. It doesn't have to be a short. I just liked the idea and didn't want to knit a full sock. So hack, you do a shorty. But yeah, so these are done as well. And then I have one more finished object, which is, okay, I quite like this one. My pressed flowers bandana. So when I was a kid, I was like very into bandanas, like ages 7, 8, 9, I'd say. Big bandana girl. Like I had, this was like the early 2000s, guys. Okay, I'm old, I'm 28. So headbands were also a big thing then. And so I would have, because like, it's annoying to like tie these, honestly, especially when you're a kid and you're running around and like doing flips and whatever random shit and like being on the monkey bars and stuff. But I would get headbands that had the bandana like glued onto them. That's like big brain time, and like I love them. There's like a couple years where every single photo of me in the summer, I have these bandanas. I wish I could find a photo. If I can, I'll put it in, but I looked for one and I couldn't the other day. So that's too bad, but if I ever find one, I'll post it on my Instagram. But where am I going with this? Oh, bandanas. So I love this pattern, like the pressed flowers shawl pattern by Savory Knits, Savory Knitting, Savory Knitter, one of those. But like I'm not a shawl girly. I will like, okay, once again, if I say these things, like watch me like knit a shawl, but at my current emotional state and mental state, I'm like not big into shawls to wear. Like I'd rather just have a scarf, not like a triangular shaped one. I'd want like just a rectangular shaped one. So I was never gonna knit a shawl, but then I'm pretty sure I saw this on TikTok where someone was like, just take those shawl patterns and knit them smaller and make a bandana. I think it's for crochet. This was a crocheter saying this, and I was like, this is genius. I'll bring back my bandana era. Like I have been wearing this around and I am enjoying it. I was a little worried that I wouldn't like it, but incredible for hiding my greasy ass hair. Like my hair gets so greasy. Like obviously I don't wash it every day because I'm lazy, but honestly I should be washing it every day. That's how greasy my hair is. And like, you know, I've done the whole thing. I've tried to go for like weeks not washing it to try and like acclimate my scalp, whatever. I'm just oily, okay? And this is very nice to hide the roots because you can still wear your hair down, but oily hair, totally fine. So basically I just wanted to use the leftovers from my outline tank and also the white cotton, which will feature soon. But I just cast it on using whatever needles you know, I didn't use the recommended needle size or anything. I used the one that I liked for this yarn with my outline tank, the same ones I used here. And then I just knit the shawl until I thought it was kind of bandana size. Realistically, I do think this one's like a little small. Like maybe it should have come down a bit longer, but like I was ready to be done, so I did. And then I just knit an I-cord. This is like a 3-stitch I-cord, I think. I did an I-cord until it was yay long, and then, you know, picked up and did a nice I-cord applied edge. Like, look at this, it's gorgeous. Very happy with how it turned out. The I-cord edge, and then, you know, just knit the I-cord on the other side. And now I have a bandana, so like, I'm into it. I will be probably knitting more in the future. I have to go look, because I used to just completely disregard any shawl patterns on Ravelry. So now this has like really opened up my whole pattern world of shawls that I can now knit as bandanas. Now this actual pattern, the pressed flowers pattern, like not the best pattern. Not very well written, kind of confusing. Like, it's fine, you can struggle through it pretty easily, but I will say it is not clear. But this is my first ever like mosaic color work pattern, and I quite liked it. It's very cool. You only knit with one color at a time, and you basically just like slip these stitches to have it be a different color. I don't know how to explain it better than that. Look up an article on mosaic knitting. But I quite liked it. If you are scared of color work, this would probably be a good way to do it. I might try and design a sock pattern using this kind of technique, because I did like it. And it would be good for like newbie color work people. So yeah, we'll see. But pressed flowers bandana edition, very cute. I like it. I guess we'll move on to whips. So one whip that I must have talked about before is my SkeinyLegend socks. So I knit these on the plane, and I did a little like plane knitting reel, and for some reason, like every 2 weeks, Instagram like picks it up and shows it to thousands of people. Very strange. But anyways, my first like proper little reels of me knitting. I inserted them in my last video, I think, so you can see them, or you can just see them on Instagram if you want. But this was a sock kit from Unique Sock. It's one of their like self-striping ones, the zebra ones obviously. And then I've gone in and duplicate stitched. So this one, okay, the duplicate stitching ended up much larger than I thought it was gonna be. I was imagining like a small little like, you know, when you get tube socks and they have like a little like Nike blah 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 little thing on them. I was imagining it that, but I don't know, I'm kind of down for this. Anyway, so this one says SkeinyLegend. You kind of gotta like, it looks better when it's on the foot. And some of the honestly, some of the letters are a little hard to read, but I don't care. So I showed this in my last one. But basically I have completed the second sock. I actually counted the rows for the first time because I got some of these stitch markers that everyone has, but I never had any before. And then normally I just like hold the socks up to like measure the second one on the other one, but this time I like properly counted, which was kind of new for me. But I did finish knitting this sock, and I still need to sit down and duplicate stitch the I'm a Pisces on the other one. I'm gonna have to make sure that I do it on the correct side because I want them both to be facing out. But this one could be a cute new like profile picture, because maybe Trixie doesn't want me using her likeness. But yeah, so it's just like a vanilla like 3x1 rib sock. I made them quite long because I was expecting to like kind of like turn the cuff down. I know they're actually a bit too long in my opinion, but that's fine. And yep, I don't really think I have much more to say other than I finished this sock. I'm pretty sure I hadn't finished it in the last one, so I brought it to show. I forgot. I always forget about my mini mic. Imagine if I had a real working mic and forgot about this one. She'd just never be able to hear anything I said. Okay, and then I'm on to my last whip. My last whip, which is the Yoko top by Knitting for Olive. So, some SkeinyLegend lore for you guys. If you go back to my first episode, I talk about this top because last year I knit the whole thing and I was an idiot and I read the sizing wrong and I knit it like 2 sizes too big and it was see-through and blah blah blah. So I threw it into a cupboard for a while and then I have now rescued it from the cupboard. I have like partially frogged it and we're starting again. So I'm knitting it 2 sizes smaller and with a smaller size of needles. And it's all over a 2x2 rib. But that's okay. So here's what I have so far. Oh my god, I stopped in the middle of a row. That's like crazy for me. But you'll be able to see it just fine. So it goes like this, you know. Yeah, so basically I'm just working on this and then here's the old one that I completely finished and I'm just kind of, you know, pulling it out as I go. But this I'm doing in the same material. Obviously it's like a recycled thrifted cotton. Oh, I just dropped a stitch. Okay, hold on. Let's pick this bad boy back up. There we go. So yeah, this is how far I'm still on the first side. Basically you knit the whole one side to the back and then pretty sure you put the stitches on hold, then you knit the other cross side, graft them together, which is kind of irritating, and then knit a fuck ton of I-cord for straps and for the ties. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, like I don't like knitting on this at all, but I do quite like the finished top, so I'll keep going on it. But yeah, this one's like, it's fine. I do enjoy knitting it, but don't love 2x2 rib. Sometimes I get tired of it and like I hate I-cord. But I think I was talking to Martina about that and it's like, yeah, you just sometimes you need to be in the right mood and you need to just like enter a meditative state with I-cord and then it's just like magically done. So I'll find a good movie or show or something and pump out a bunch of I-cord when I get there, but I'm nowhere close to getting there, so like that's fine. This pattern, have I been doing pattern reviews? I have. On the other ones I'm thinking about. Yeah, this pattern, terribly written. Oh my god, it is the most confusing pattern I have ever tried to follow. I'm pretty sure the first time I realized that I like knit half the increases wrong because I don't know, it's just like I like patterns that are like sweet, succinct, like just, you know, K's and P's and whatever and like row blah blah, but this one's like a little paragraph for each row and it's like, oh, on the next row make sure that you knit these ones as knits. And it's like, if you have any brain cells, you can figure out if you need to knit them or purl them. I don't need it like written. It's written in every single row. And then sometimes she'll have like, repeat these sections 5 times. But then sometimes she'll have like stars and be like, repeat the stars. And then sometimes she'll just like write the whole thing again instead of just saying repeat this portion. So it's just so confusing, but it's really pretty. So I am just being very diligent with like highlighting the relevant sections each time to hopefully not make a mistake like I did last time. Like it didn't really matter in the final one last time, but yeah, it's just frustrating. So hard, like I wouldn't recommend the pattern, but we'll see when I finish this. But like according to the last one I finished, like I do think it produces a beautiful garment. So if it's worth it to you, then it's worth it to you. But I'm not a fan. I haven't read or like purchased or read or whatever any other knitting for olive patterns, so like I don't know if it's just her style or if it's just this particular one that's crap. But like when you go on Ravelry to the projects, like I'm sure we all do this, but like every time I go to knit something, I obviously stock all the Ravelry projects for like days beforehand before I commit to like getting the pattern. But everyone complains about it on Ravelry as well, so I think it's just a trash pattern, and what can you do? I also don't know the size range on that. The Jessie made patterns are all like super size inclusive. Socks are, in my opinion, size inclusive, like they're socks. But I have no idea on this one, so I'm sorry, but I don't know. And it's on my phone, but I'm filming on my phone, so I can't check. But that's my last bit. I actually have some other ones, but like I thought this would be too long and I don't want to get them out, so we'll talk about them next time. But I have one acquisition. And it's bad because if you watched my last video, go watch my last video. No one watched it. What the hell? But I have an outrageous Australian yarn haul in that one. And then before going to Australia, I bought a ticket to KnitCity, which is in 2 weeks. And I already know that I'm gonna go wild. Like, I'm gonna spend $200. Probably spend more than $200. I don't know, I'm gonna spend a bunch of money. I'm like, I don't need to be knitting or buying any more yarn right now, because I literally purchased a ticket. I spent the money to go buy yarn. So where am I going with this? Oh, so yesterday I went to a knit cafe at Le Chicotes du Quartier. Excuse my accent. I was very nervous because it's obviously a French knitting store, and like I know French. I did French immersion all the way up to high school, like through high school. I did it for 8 years or something. That was 10 years ago though. And then I went to McGill, which is in Montreal, and I was all excited to speak French. But I'm gonna complain here. I found then, and I still find now, that if any like francophone speaker, like native Quebec person, like catches a whiff of you having a shit accent, which I have a shit accent, they will immediately switch to English, and it's like the most demoralizing experience to be like trying my best to speak in French and then just having whoever I'm talking to like switch to English. It's like not like their English is good either. Like their English is probably worse than my French, but they will refuse to speak to me in French and just speak to me in English, even if I continue to speak in French to them while they're speaking to me in English. So there's just two people both speaking like terrible language to each other, having this like super awkward interaction. Anyway, so I came to McGill and like I didn't speak French at all because I was like so demotivated by that. And then like I moved away from this French speaking area, and now I've moved back trying to speak French again. I still have like no confidence, and I call it getting English. I still get English all the time, and it's very frustrating and sad and hurts my feelings. So if you're a francophone from Quebec and watching this, niche, but don't do that to people. It hurts their feelings, okay? Anyway, I was nervous about going to this. It was mostly fine. The ladies were very nice. I was late. I'm pretty sure I was one of like 5 people there that didn't have fully gray hair, but they let me like bumble through with my crap French. I also like don't know any knitting terms in French very well, so that was tough too, but it was pretty good. Only got Englished a couple times at the end, but it was fine. And as I was walking out, of course they had a little sale section, and then I stopped and looked, which I shouldn't have, and they had a bunch of these sock yarns that look like fruit, like self-striping sock yarns that like knit up to look like fruit. And first I looked at a kiwi one and it was very cute, but I was like, I don't need it. And then I looked at a papaya one, also very cute. I'm like, I don't need it. But then I looked again and they had a banana one, and I was like, well, I have to get it. I am banana. I need a banana sock yarn. I will say this one is like the least close to looking like the fruit when it's striped. Like you can imagine the kiwi one had like green main color with like brown speckles, and then like brown and green stripes, or brown white stripes around it. Like that one looked really like a kiwi. And I'm sure they probably have a watermelon one too, but they didn't have it at the store anymore. But I was like, okay, well, I have to get the banana one. Now this is kind of a strange thing. It is 90% cotton, 10% elastic. So it's like a cotton sock yarn. And then when I was checking out, this is when I got English, when I was checking out, the lady was telling me that I need to knit at a tighter gauge or else they will like kind of sag because of the cotton. So I'm pretty excited about that. They're cotton, so I think I'll knit shorties, but maybe I'll kind of say something. We'll see. So the range on it says, show me the gauge thing, 2.5 to 3 mil. I think I'll knit them at a 225 then, I guess. Hopefully the lady is right. Maybe I can do a 2.5. I'll search on Ravelry maybe. But this is my one purchase. It wasn't cheap, it was still like $17 on sale, but I had to get it. It was calling, it was speaking to me. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to KnitCity. I realistically won't film anything while I'm there, but I will probably have a gnarly haul for you next time. And that's it. Stay tuned. I'm still putting out content, I guess. Go follow me on Instagram. Go follow my Candle Instagram. And like subscribe, like I don't know, like do all the stuff. Please leave me a comment. If you made it here, please leave me a comment. Like I love comments so much. So if you're still here, like leave me a comment. And I will talk at you later. Bye.